Yeah, I mean, 2 people are ready for us to go. Yo, shout out the 2 people listening right now. We got A86 Hachi, and actually the other one's just me checking on the stream. So shout out to me and shout out to A86 Hachi. You guys are the real ones. Oh, Saddam 1. Dude, yo, we got 4 going. So we literally just doubled our streams. No, what happened? I thought it didn't sell at Barrett Jackson. No way!
Man, I blew it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm upset now. We're gonna have to start this whole thing over. No one could hear me.
Okay, well then let's introduce the podcast.
All right, we're gonna pause, reflect, talking about the Hello Kitty Miata. She says we'll get there. We're gonna get back to there.
Can you hear?
Yeah, they can hear me now. I fucked it up.
Okay,
that was my B. I can probably turn the music off.
Yeah, you probably should.
I can make it really. I mean, I own the rights to it.
Probably turn the background on too.
Oh, I should. All right, I'm gonna put the music at like 1.
Okay.
How can I get it to 1? It won't let me put it on 1.
Well,
I can get 3. I got 3. What's up, people?
All right. It sounds good. I just turned it on for a second.
It only matters where you blow it. All right, everyone.
All right. Welcome to the Fresh Oil Podcast.
Yes. Hello.
The premier automotive podcast, as you can tell.
Hello, everyone. It is I, your boy, Jake, or Twiggy, or whatever you want to call me. I don't care. And with me, my very special co-host,
what up,
capital S special Colin. And we're here to talk about we're capital
S special.
No, that's like how in Japan, like they have S above A.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just.
No, I was going JDM, man. No, I wasn't calling you. I wasn't calling you special. I wasn't calling you hard. Actually, no.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to call me an arsler.
An arsler. Oh my god. No. Anyway, we're back. We're back at it again. We're here to have some fun, talk about cars, enjoy some special times. As I was originally trying to do, and this was before I realized I was a dumbass. I'm sorry, I think I was sitting a little close to the mic there. Before I realized that my mic was muted, we were talking about the Hello Kitty Miata and how so you didn't know what happened, but I don't know who owns it. I don't know if this is like the guy who won it from the Barrett Jackson auction. I don't know if this is the like another guy after that or something. I have no idea, because with how all these like YouTube car giveaway car sales go, like they go through so many hands, like so fast.
I seem to remember that car going through at least 3 owners before I stopped paying attention. I
can't remember. And I just brought that up because I remembered it at the last minute. I didn't get like an article or anything. There are actual articles, like the internet
yeah,
knows.
I remember the timeline was blowing up with Hello Kitty content.
Yeah, no, totally. And it was on our cars on Reddit. And how do you say like subreddits to people? Do you say like our cars? Cars? The
If it's
Cars
someone who,
subreddit?
if it's someone who
Like you
is
type it, you would
familiar with
do r
Reddit,
slash.
when it's someone who's familiar with Reddit, I will just say r whatever. If it is someone who does not frequent Reddit or isn't that familiar with it, I'll say like the Cars subreddit or like the Formula One subreddit or whatever.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know what one, like, one probably makes me sound like a bigger loser than the other. And
Yeah,
I want to
well,
make
that's
sure
why
that
I
I'm
don't.
like at peak loser over here, you know?
That's why I don't say it to people who don't go
Uh,
on Reddit because I feel like it makes me sound like a
it's kind of
loser.
hard. I feel like it is kind of hard to talk to people about Reddit because
Yeah, if you talk to people about Reddit at all, you kind of sound like a big loser.
at this point, Reddit, you know, it has so many different communities and like so many different types of people that are on it. Like it's the same place where you have, you know, we did it Reddit mixed with like, you know, literal Nazis and shit. Like they
Yeah,
share the website.
like yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, like
Anyway,
insane conspiracy theories everywhere.
regardless,
Anyway, welcome to social commentary with Fresh
so
Oil.
the guy who got the guy whoever owns it now, the Hell Kitty, the Hellcat swapped NB Miata for those who don't know, full 700 horsepower, whatever. Uh, he like crashed it. There's, you know, tons of pictures about it, and the guy posted it on Reddit. I should have found the link, even though Reddit is the seventh largest site online. Yeah, but it's weird because it's still like obscure
Maybe
in the
because I got
general
into.
public. It's like
I
for
think it's
people who are
not
it's for people who are
anymore.
on the internet like a
Yeah, it is for
abroad
people.
every day. Like
It's for
you're on a
people
lot of
that are
different
like
websites.
internet denizens.
Yeah. It's not, you know, there are people who literally like the internet to them is smartphone apps and that's like everything and they're probably not on Reddit, you know.
I don't know.
Even though
Reddit
Reddit does have a smartphone app.
it does have a big casual audience. Like think about all the OMG we did it Reddit. Like those are
No,
like
they definitely do have a casual audience, but it's big but not known
regardless.
well. I think it's because it's big amongst a much younger generation. So like people who are much older than say 30 or 35, like you really don't expect to be on Reddit at all. Um,
Yeah.
like very rarely are people like over 30. Like I'm 26
No,
and very
I
often I'm
feel
like
like
one of the
there's
old. No,
a
there
lot
are
more old
definitely people.
people
There are
than you
definitely
think.
people, but it's depending where you go. I feel like I'm 26 and feel like I'm already kind of one of the older people in threads nowadays. And I just remember like back when I was like 12 or 13 on you know, TDPRI guitar forums and you know, just like learning about guitars and shit and wanting to know more, wanting to modify them and work on them and do cool shit and you know, and that's how I learned how to like not type like an idiot. Like, you know, it was basically
Yeah,
all
yeah, I do miss forums, dude. Like
it was all like
Ratson.net
old
was such a
people. It was like all
valuable
old dudes.
resource.
Like every
Dude,
dude
yo,
that you
yo,
talk
hold
to.
up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
All right, go ahead.
You're talking over me a lot, bro.
I'm sorry.
It's cool. I wanna tell
No,
my
you're right.
car forum
Go ahead,
experience.
Colin. I apologize.
I'm
Continue.
special, but anyway,
Capital S.
I think like Ratson.net was a super valuable resource to me when I was like first getting Datsuns and stuff, because like yeah, like you said, it's just full of old people that wanna talk about nice siren. They want to talk about their build in insanely deep detail that like nobody on Facebook groups does it. Nobody on Reddit goes
The
into that
build
much
thread
detail.
that you mean.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, that's dead. It's dead.
you can still go on Ratson and find 50-page build threads documenting like every fucking nut and bolt that they took off.
No,
It's
I
insane.
know. I know. Those are and that's what we've lost. Like
Yeah, because Photo Bucket tanked. R.I.P.
Well, you got PhotoBucket. Like, there's some Chrome add-ons I think that can fix like most of
Yeah,
them, like
it can fix
70% of
some of
them.
them.
Most of them, not all of them though.
The one I have does
But
okay.
it's like beside that, you just have a lot of them are just shutting down because nobody's on them and people don't want to keep the servers up anymore.
Yeah,
And and
true.
then when they were huge, when forums were huge, and I don't think a lot of people know this stuff. Like when forums were huge, like one company would own like 90 different web forum websites, and they would manage
Yes.
90 something of them. Yeah, and like there'd be a company, or what they'd probably be an LLC or something, and they would own like 50 different car forums, 40 different truck forums, 10 different RV forums, like that. Like that's what they own, and that's like where they make ad profit and shit like that. And when people don't show
Yeah,
up,
and I remember there were companies that would just like host your forum for you. Like you could
yeah.
just go on and make a forum
And that's
and
why
then
there were
like
forums for everything. Like every single like individual car got its like own forum, and there'd be like
yeah.
20 people that used it. But like 20 people went to it like every day.
Yeah, and those 20 people would all help each other with everything.
Yeah, it was a different
And they
era.
all
Um
knew everything
but like
between them.
back then, early 2000s to early to mid 2000s, the internet was kind of different. It wasn't popular like it is now, and
Yeah.
and like if you were on the internet, like you were part of the internet community. There weren't like really, forums were kind of the first separation of communities really on the internet that kind of super kicked off. I feel at least. You got chat rooms and stuff like that, but this was definitely more organized. But yeah, you lost losing all the build threads because a lot of these forums go down, um, and the other ones are just obscure and destroyed because Photobucket took everything down and ruined that, and everyone's on Reddit or Facebook, and no one wants to do any of that
Yeah.
stuff, and there's no way to have build threads anymore. Like the best way you could do it is like a YouTube like playlist. Facebook is like cancer for a lot of that stuff. There are some good ones if you look. It's hard to find the good ones.
The
You
S12 ones are generally pretty good. They're not super active though. It's sometimes hard to
The good ones, in my opinion, they're usually ones that are like actually about racing, or like legitimately modify, like really doing stuff, like you got to go
yeah.
a little bit a step above, like maybe even above like what you are capable of and know. And those are generally really good because they have a lot of really good information from people who actually know stuff. So like
Yeah.
I'm in some like lemons Facebook groups, but there's another one, and it's a group that's run by like I forget what his position is, but he's like the head of safety or whatever, and like he has to sign off on ideas or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
basically like this group is for you to post your questions and your bad ideas and your blah blah blah, and he will tell you like how to make it safe, or if it's even possible to make it safe, or how to change your cage so that it would pass tech, and blah 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 blah, like all that information. And it's actual people who know stuff, who have years and years of real information and experience at just in their head. And it's hard to find groups like that. um, Facebook face names, yeah, but the car groups though, because it's like almost like it, it's back to
The core
like where
groups
you
are
have,
terrible, dude. Like,
but it's back to
so I
where you
was
have
just
like a
talking about how great Ratson is, and the major Datsun group, Datsun Parts and Needs, is fucking trash, bro. It's just full of people like asking what fitment wheels have using
oh
generic
god,
fucking
yeah.
fender flares. and like asking stupid ass questions and fucking posting LS swaps, dude. It's fucking terrible.
Well, I
It's just
think
like shitty Facebook people that are into Dotsons.
yeah, I think with the Facebook groups, we've almost gotten to the same thing with like the old web forums where they're like very specific. I feel like it's like there's the S12 Facebook group, and then
There's
the
actually
I mean
like
there's a
three
bunch there's a
S12
bunch of
Facebook
whatever.
groups.
But like it seems like it's
Yeah.
very super specific. So you have like all of these like weirdly condensed communities that like they're not all collaborating as a whole, and they're just all posting like the same shit every single day. Like when I first got my GTI, I joined like the Mark 6 Volkswagen Facebook group, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
I want to, learn some more stuff about the car that I own and blah blah blah. And it's like I actually got my Euro taillights out of it. Because they were like nearby and someone posted a listing. It was like super good price, and I was like, fuck yeah. But outside of that, it's like someone goes, oh, just this is like the average post. It's like, oh, just picked up a 2013 GLI, whatever dumb specs they want to tell you about. What mods should I do to it? Here's a
Yeah.
picture. And then like the next post after it would be like, where my golf wagon owners at? Post your whip. And it would just be
Yeah, and then
people
it's a bunch
posting
of
their
people,
car.
like,
And it was the
stock fucking
same
market hates,
thing
dude.
every single day, every post. Like there was nothing new. There was nothing
And it's like the
interesting.
same people that
It's the
post their cars
same
every time
people.
too.
And it's
You
literally
never seen like new cars. It's just always the same dudes with like
but I mean like this
stock
is
springs and fucking rotas or
this
whatever.
is the shit with like this is how like social media is just like killing people in general. Like it's not about like actually like doing anything or teaching anything or expanding people in any direction. It's just about like getting likes and getting that internet clout and getting the internet, people want to post something and they want people to like it. And that's what they do. And they're just going to do that
Welcome
again and
to
again and
Boomer
again.
Talk with the Fresh Oil
I
Podcast.
know. It does make me sound like a boomer. It totally does. It totally does. But like most people my age don't even have like Facebook anymore, honestly. I do have a Facebook, so
I
Am
consider deleting mine on a weekly basis.
But, regardless, yeah, what Adam says, it makes it easier for basic folk to have a voice. Like if you ever I don't really go to like groups and stuff like that outside of, the groups I race with I'm in, and that's like real conversation about real shit, so it's usually not bullshit. But I'll follow like brands and race teams and F1 whatever shit like that on Facebook just so I get a news feed of information.
Yeah, I need to just like
that's what I use it for because I don't have Twitter.
Of people I went to high school with. Yeah, I don't have Twitter either.
I don't have Twitter, so that's kind of what I use Facebook for. And it's like you go to any post, it's like anything about cars, doesn't really matter the brand, it doesn't matter what the fucking news is about or whatever. All the comments, it's like every comment is someone shitting on it, like every fucking single one. It's like the worst shit ever. It's terrible. It's pretty all right, not terrible, it's pretty bad. Regardless, let's get to real news because we've clamored on
real news
nonsense.
In the form of Project Car update before the news.
Ooh, Project Car update.
How's the Jetta?
Dude, the Jetta is exactly the same.
Twig.
Dude.
Jake.
Dude.
You're killing me right now.
It's been raining for like 3 weeks straight, and
bro,
I'm not about that muddy shoe life.
Do you want to tell me?
About that muddy shoe life? Oh yeah,
I live in Portland.
I'm not about that muddy shoe life. I just said it, man. I just said it. No, I've been super lazy about that. No, I totally admit it. I've been doing some other project shit, like just getting stuff around my apartment actually sorted in the way I want it, like getting all my guitars.
Like procrastinating?
No, not kind of. I guess. Yeah, going to a different hobby, right? I've been doing like guitar stuff for like for like a month and a half now.
If we go 4 podcasts with no update
Oh my
on the
god, I gotta go do
Jetta,
something. You're right. I will. I'll
all
do
right.
something. I will. Anyway, that's me. It's my defeat. I bow in defeat. What'd you do? You S12. You S12 it up. No, you
I
fixed your other
S12'd it up,
car.
dude. I S12'd it
You
up.
drove the S12 because your other
I
car
did
broke.
indeed. I left the headlights on in my Integra and drained the battery. And I went to go to work. I work very early in the morning, so I was leaving at about 3:30, and my car wouldn't start. And I had started the S12 the last weekend, but and I drove it around a little bit. But then I did a few more things and didn't quite wrap everything up and just had the car sitting in the garage. And
She was left wet.
she was sitting. So I knew it would start though, and I knew the Acura would not. And in my 3:30 in the morning logic, I instead of pushing the S12 out of the garage and using it to jumpstart the Acura, I said, I'll just drive the S12 to work.
Why not?
So I went in the garage and it started up first try after I pushed my Acura into the street to get it out of the way. My driveway's only 1 car wide. So I pushed the Acura into the street and I drive the S12 out and I'm driving it to work, man. And it was getting hot as fuck because my thermostat housing my thermostat wasn't seated right in the housing.
Oh
And
yeah, I
so it was
remember
just
this. Didn't you like
blowing
fix it
all of
like
its
at
fucking
work or
water
something?
out. Yeah, so like I fixed it on my lunch break and it's Gucci now. I drove it again the next day and drove it around on the weekend and it's good. So S12 almost ready. I need to align it still, but then it'll be ready.
Do you know how to do it?
Yes, I
You do
do.
like
And
the
I
string and
got,
whatever
all right,
method?
this is not an app, but if you want some cheap ass alignment tools or some well priced alignment tools. I don't want to say they're cheap because they're not like $50, but a well priced alignment tool, go to wheelalignmenttools.com. I think the brand name is like Tilhuisen Automotive. I do not know how to pronounce it. But shout out those guys. They make a really cool wheel alignment kit that's
Can
a
you link that
decent
to me?
price. Yeah, let me find it real quick.
So what we do, and I don't know if this is just what Alex, our I don't know team leader, I guess you would call him. Uh, he does toe plates. You ever do toe plates? He does toe plates, 2 tape measures, and 2 people, and then you need like a really flat piece of pavement to put your car on. So if you can find like a concrete slab or something like that's super awesome. But yeah, you use the toe plates, and basically you put it on the outside of the front wheels, and you get the wheels straight, and you put it on the outside of the wheels, and then there's a spot to put a tape measure, and you put a tape measure on the front, and you put a tape measure on the back,
Yep.
and you
Yep.
measure the difference. And that's how you
So
get your
that
toe
does
right.
toe.
That does toe. And now
But
the other stuff, we just fucking send it, right? Like we're like at the maximum like caster that we can even get because we
yep.
don't have any adjustment. And the rest of it, yeah, we don't have any more adjustment on the front, at least for our Mustang. So that's why we kind of send it there. But like if you're just trying to get it close, like, and you don't really care, like your toe is really one of the most important parts.
Oh, definitely. But if you check out the shit I sent you, basically it's a set of toe plates. But if you look, one of them has some removable standoffs and a digital protractor, so you can use it to do camber as well. It works as a camber gauge, and then it's got the little slot cut in it for
Oh, I see
measuring
the slot.
caster.
Okay. Here, I'll let me put this up.
And you see like the standoffs coming off of it, and those measuring tapes measure in 30 seconds of an inch.
Yeah,
So
that's a little
I
maybe
got
a
that,
bummer. Maybe
and
a
I
bummer for
haven't
some.
used it yet, but I'm pretty stoked on it.
Let me make sure that I have this here. No, this looks the plates are basically the same exact thing. You know, where you have a tape
Yeah,
measure on either side. It just looks like it's a tool that has added purposes. I don't.
yeah.
We
It's
don't.
also a camber gauge and a caster gauge, basically.
We don't like have camber adjustment and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
well then don't fucking worry about
so
it.
like it
Yeah,
didn't.
then you're
It doesn't
good.
matter. Um,
I
I
do
wish this
have
was like a
camber
gallery. It
adjustment,
literally
so
opens. It literally opens a picture. This is like the worst web design. Oh, okay, but
I
I
know.
see what you mean. Like you can see like some measurements and other stuff like that. Like this is more legitimate. You know, if you're not
Yeah,
racing
it's
a
like it's
trash
the
can.
next version of toe plate.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, I
that's
got this
nice.
for the S12 because I have like rear alignment now, so it's pretty cool.
I get a buddy. Get a buddy to help.
Oh yeah, you can't, dude. You
You
can't
can't
do
do
toe
this shit
plates by
alone.
yourself. I've done toe plate alignments before.
You can't. It like
Yeah, I had to have a
kind of you
buddy's
can't.
help.
You kind of
No,
can, but you
I
can't.
no, I was trying to do it by myself, and I had to go get my buddy. I was like, "Yo, I can't do this myself."
Ah, I see. It's interesting though because like with this measurement system, like you're doing it like the toe, you're not really doing the toe correctly because you're not doing it in degrees. It's not really like an accurate.
Yeah, dude, I've never measured toe in degrees in my life. And like all the people that I've raced
No,
with
no
have
one
always just
does.
measured it
No one
in
does.
fucking
Everyone does it this way.
inches.
Yeah.
Like
No.
maybe Formula One teams do it in degrees, like
That's what I'm
fucking
wondering. Like
nerds.
how do you like
No,
it's in
I bet
video
they still
games
just
and
do it in
shit.
millimeters, dude.
But it's like in video games, it's like degrees.
Is it? I thought Forza had it
What is it
in
in Forza?
millimeters
Oh, maybe
or
I'm wrong.
possibly
Maybe
inches.
I'm thinking of
Possibly
the wrong shit.
inches.
Caster.
Caster and camber are in
Caster, you just
degrees.
set Caster and camber you
Yeah,
set to maximum.
I don't care about caster, dude. For a drift car, here's
Well, you
what your
want
caster is.
caster though. You want the caster to get
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
your
saying. But
patch.
here's how you set your caster in at least in my car. Fucking pull it forward until the wheels rub at full lock, and then back it off a little bit.
I like that. I can stand that. 886 Hachi.
That's like
Uh
I can't get enough caster, bro. Because I have stock knuckles, so I don't have to really worry
dude,
about
fucking
over
send it.
centering.
Fucking send it, man. You get everywhere in life by sending it usually.
Yeah,
In my experience,
no, definitely.
usually when I'm a little bitch and don't do stuff, like that's usually when life's the lamest.
Yeah, go send it on the Jetta, bro.
You got I
Anyway, not
gotta.
an ad. Shout out to
All right. So we're
wheelalignmenttools.com.
gonna hop to the first real story a half hour into this fucking thing.
Dude, we're fucking killing it, bro.
Oh my
2 hour podcast
god.
tonight.
Oh god. This has been powered by too many bong hits. All right.
Indeed.
All
Yo,
right,
can
we're
you
gonna get to
carry
the
the
first story.
conversation? Can you Wait, no, you can't. I can't leave while you're introducing the story. Sorry.
Why? What do you gotta do?
I gotta pee really bad.
All right, you pee.
All right, sorry. This is incredibly terrible. I'll be back.
All right. I'm gonna end up having to tell this story twice because he's gonna have to come back. 8886 Hachi. Dude, I feel you on that, man. Life is could be a brick wall sometimes. And my girlfriend actually she works with developmentally impaired children. So she tells me all these stories, and you know it definitely is tough. But you know that's family, and that's what you do. And you get through it, and you'll either have a sick AE86 or you'll have a sick bundle of cash because I know they're worth a lot right now.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back. Great. We're here to talk about
Tesla.
Tesla. So did you hear this story about what happened?
No, I did not.
So I'll break
I'm
it down to
not
you.
an EV lover like you.
So this is totally because I love EVs. You got me. Did you just
Mhm.
pop a brewski, bro?
Yeah, so when I said I had to pee, what I really meant
Yeah,
was
piece of
I really
shit.
want a beer.
You piece of... You could have just said, I want a beer. That would have been fine. All right, so
Yeah,
what
it did seem
happened?
like the right thing to say.
So what happened was, a Tesla got like recalled or something, and Tesla put it to auction, right? And I guess when Tesla usually gets cars, they're supposed to like remove basically every feature from it and then put it to auction. And I don't, and it's because how they view these features, because they want to view it like a tech company and like a subscription almost, like a
Yeah, and they don't want
license,
someone else to be able to like
And
reverse engineer.
some guy bought the car, and he bought it from auction, and uh, it, you look at the VIN and you look up the VIN information. It says it includes all of that stuff, and the guy gets the car and it has autopilot and it works, and that's what he paid that money, assuming that that feature would be there. And what did it say here? It says, a few days after the auction, November 18, Tesla conducted an unsolicited remote audit of the vehicle and removed the enhanced autopilot and full self-driving options. So,
That seems incredibly dangerous for
oh,
someone to expect there to be full autopilot.
this was before the car was sold. So the
Oh,
place that was auctioning it still was listing it as having that because they thought that it did.
oh, that sounds like the auction house is liable for it then.
Well, it comes down to who has does Tesla have the right to do that, to remove that option that was on that vehicle that's tied to that VIN? Like, if you're saying that it's...
I don't know, dude. Do you have the right to rip the air conditioner out of a fucking car that came with it? Like, I fucking take cruise control. I took the cruise control out of my S12. Like, it didn't work,
No, but
but
this is
like,
different because the guy bought this car from the auction house expecting it to have this feature. It was advertised with this feature. The VIN
yeah. So
says
that's
it
what I'm
has
saying.
this feature. So a
That's what I'm
normal
saying.
a
The auction
normal
house
person...
is responsible for communicating that it doesn't have that. Like, it needs to list that and like specify that.
But I don't know why an auction house would even know, or like a used car lot or something. Like I
I
don't
mean,
even
that's the thing.
see
They
why
probably
they would
didn't
know.
know. So in that case, if they didn't know, then
Well,
it's on
so what
Tesla for not like
it sounds like
making it
is
known that they do
it
that.
sounds like is they got the car, they inventoried it, they said it has autopilot, they listed it like that. Okay,
Okay.
is that on them if Tesla later remotely removes that feature and they have no fucking clue? Because they're not gonna inventory it again. They're not gonna test drive it again. It goes to auction. It's gone. That's how auction houses work.
Yeah, that's true.
It
Yeah,
can't be
I
on
don't
them.
know, man.
But
Like,
anyway, the guy who
I
bought the
don't.
car, it was advertised with this feature. If you looked up the VIN, it'll say it has this feature. Like a reasonable consumer would expect it to have that feature. He buys the
Yeah, totally.
car.
So the dude's not
He buys the car, and
like I
Tesla wants
feel
eight
bad
thousand
for the
dollars.
dude.
Tesla wants $8,000.
Oh, we hadn't gotten that far
Yeah.
yet. Tesla wants eight
Or
thousand
like
dollars from
whatever it
him
is, whatever it is.
to
They
put
wanted
the
him to pay
features
for
back
it.
in.
Yeah.
Yo, that's bullshit.
So what it is Tesla basically wants features to be like a license or a subscription, because otherwise you can't charge people twice for that shit. Like if someone buys a fully spec'd out car, that has a higher profit margin than the base model car. However, when they
Yes.
sell that used to somebody else, that second person, like, they don't get any more out of that. Whereas
Yeah.
if you're selling autopilot as a license and it's for the owner, like, okay, that's one thing, but that's not what Tesla says it is, and that's not what anything else in the car industry is. Like, if they explicitly explain that and they're like, this is non-owner transferable license for autopilot, it costs this much. And if they just said that up front from the start, black and white, then I couldn't complain right now. As much as I dislike that business model, I couldn't complain right now. But like, what they did was bullshit, and there was so much backlash that they actually gave the guys autopilot back. Like, that's the thing, is Tesla fucks people over, and the only time they fix stuff is if it ends up on the news, and then they fix it.
Yeah, man. I mean, Tesla, I still like don't fully trust them. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Model 3 build quality issues were exaggerated and have been fixed, but everybody always like I've heard from like hardcore Tesla fanboys that like they were super exaggerated with how bad everyone was saying they were when they first came out.
Totally.
But
totally. I 100%. And I was definitely in that camp too.
Maybe they were just fucking terrible when they came out, and then Tesla was like, "Oh fuck, we can't have these being terrible," and up the quality.
I think it's twofold. I think Tesla has improved. Obviously, I would expect them to improve, and I definitely think that the issues are overblown. I mean, I just remember from my childhood, when this would have been the second generation Prius, right? When that came out. And, everyone hated the thing because it was eco and it was future thinking and, all the stuff about like, oh, the batteries and it pollutes more than a diesel pickup truck. Like, the people like hated the thing for like trying to be different. Like hated it. Fucking hated it, And like that's, and to this day, its public perception is a slow, boring, eco
no man
car.
Prius will get you laid now, dude. Chicks love the Prius.
No, but like, have you ever like driven a second or third generation Prius or like been in one?
Yeah, bro, my roommate has one.
They're pretty fucking nice. They're pretty sweet.
Yeah, bro, like to be real,
and they get
like,
super good gas mileage. They're pretty sweet.
Like, dude, they'll get you laid for sure,
you
bro.
Can
like,
get,
chicks dig the Prius.
You can get a Prius now with all-wheel drive.
Bad
hybrid
news
all-wheel drive
for all you fucking car guys with clapped out 240s and Miatas and E36s that hate on Prius. Prius will get you laid 100 times more than what you drive.
Dude, I bet you I actually don't know if the Prius Prime comes all-wheel drive. I don't know all of Toyota's hybrid models. Everything's going to become hybrid for them in like 10
we
years.
talked about that.
We totally have. But they have an all-wheel drive Prius now with like electric rear motors. Or it might be one motor. I don't remember. Motor or motors. And I'd have to imagine that like, it's a plug-in hybrid. It has electric rear motors and it has the conventionally powered front motors. Like, yeah, it's not going to be a rocket ship because it's a Prius.
Well,
they're not going to make it super fast. But, like, it's probably faster than your S12. It probably would beat you in a roll.
Bro, a 2005 Prius is faster than my S12. Like,
yeah, the new one, the all-wheel drive one would probably silly a lot of people's cars that make fun of Priuses, And I feel like, yeah, Tesla definitely got that for sure. But they just something about them. They have some really. They don't have business practices I agree with. I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think like their factory is sus.
And to me, I don't
sus working conditions.
To me, I don't like their design language or their design methodology, where it's really about make it as futuristic, tech-filled and new and as possible, no matter what. But then you have like dumb things like, oh, it has pop-out door handles, but they get fucking stuck, and then you can't use the door or something like that. Like that's just fucking stupid. Like we've perfected door handles over 100 years of cars.
Yeah.
Like they do some stuff that is just like. It's like, all right, like I get it, like it's your stylistic thing. It's really.
No, it's just Elon Musk jerking himself off.
I kind of agree.
Like, sorry, Tesla fanboys.
Can you guys not interrupt each other? No, it's impossible. I can't stop doing it. I'm trying right now. I promise. I keep doing it, man. I'm sorry, Colin.
I do it too. Sorry, we will do our best to wait to speak our
We're
piece.
bad. We're bad.
It's
Sorry.
kind of a free for all. It's kind of a free for all in this podcast, though. Sometimes you gotta just jump in.
So I have a question for you. Is your username I am fan? Like is it? It has to be, right? Like the I is like just an I. It's not part of the M thing. I was just wondering if it was some obscure BMW thing. I had no fucking idea.
Do you
about.
pronounce the slashes
No,
in M?
I don't think you do. I don't think you do at all. I think it's kind of like the.
It's not I///M fan.
No, it's like the Adidas slash. Like it doesn't. It's silent. I'm fan. I am fan. I am. All right. Okay. I got it.
Shout out to you, dude.
We got it. All right, because we're so dumb.
Tesla.
Because we're so dumb. No, we're done with Tesla. Boom. We're so dumb.
News to share. Take a look at this
Boom.
unbelievable
Look at this
video from overnight. A
Stole
suspected
this
drunk
from
driver
YouTube.
flies right through the air in a
Shout out
violent crash.
YouTube.
Look at that shit.
Yo, dude, that was some fucking
Right?
shit.
Dude,
I
hold
do
on.
not
I'm gonna have to
remember
find
which
it.
game.
I'll find it in a second. But talk shit about Damien. We don't have anything to talk about Damien.
I don't know anybody named Damien.
I don't even watch it. I don't know what he's done. To be completely honest with you, I don't know anything to talk shit about him. All right, that's pretty cool. Neat. All right, the next topic that we're going to. Volkswagen has finally I guess they determined exactly where the electric microbus will be built. So it's gonna be made. They didn't change their prediction of 2022, so it looks like 2022 is when they're gonna come out. And we know where they're gonna be made, and they don't know the name yet. But yeah, I'm excited because I think it like. I mean, I'll be honest, the commercials for this hype me up a lot, so I'm probably a lot of it biased.
Is it coming to the U.S.?
They say it is. They say it's coming to the U.S. They also say that we're going to get the ID... Fuck, what are they calling it? Space Vision, but Vision is spelled all fucked up.
With like a Z or
yeah,
some
2
shit?
Z's. And
oh, hell yeah, bro. That's futuristic as
dude,
fuck.
right? It's so cool. Like, I just imagine, like, I would feel so fucking cool driving that thing. Like, I don't even care if it's slow. Like, I don't care if it's dumb. I don't care if it sucks. Like, it just looks cool. Like, I would just feel cool.
I was just talking about the name Vision. Like, the bus is also cool.
I'm talking about the bus.
It's very small.
It is small. It's a microbus. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Now, it looked smaller. It looked almost like a K-bus for a minute in some of those pictures. Maybe it was just because
the interior is crazy, though. Like, that's something that you have to, like, actually test drive.
That shit looks like an iPhone.
Yeah. I mean...
on the inside.
I don't know if this stuff is... Dude, it's a pause and play button. That's fucking sick. That's fucking sick. I'm sorry. I think that's cool.
That's fucking corny. Bro.
I don't know
I don't know
what of this stuff. I'm assuming that this is what it's gonna look like. It looks like. I mean, everyone's going to this though. They're going to a big tablet. They should have kept the round lights. Round lights would have been fucking sick, right?
They should have kept a round steering wheel too.
I kind of think that too. That's a really weird steering wheel. I'm not a huge.
They should have had honestly a kind of a big round steering wheel to give it kind of that.
Hey, it looks to me like the tablet thing can slide back to like the rear. You know, is that what that looks like to you guys?
Probably, so that you can fucking.
Is
Netflix
that going to be like the
next
picture is going to be like, hey, Jake, here's that thing, you dumbass. The interior, I would accept any criticism that you want to give it, but I would just feel like a fucking badass driving this thing. It's supposed to get like twin motor options, so like it's got to be fucking quick as fuck, like way too fast for what it should be, you know.
How do you think it's gonna tow?
Probably not great. I mean, I don't know
Damn
though.
it.
I don't know though.
Because honestly, if that thing could tow the S12, like that would be a pretty dope tow rig.
You never know. I mean, that's gonna be more dependent, I think, on the suspension than anything. Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
the
and
thing slides back.
it'll probably have pretty car-ish suspension.
Yeah, I think you know they probably, at least in Europe, they're gonna have like a tow model or something. You know, wow, look, apparently like everything's supposed to be like on sliders and shit.
Yeah, dude, so look at that.
Dude, I like the
Fucking, you
little
slide the
gnome.
tablet
The little
back.
gnome. Look at the little gnome. Your
You
car
slide
comes
the
with a little
tablet
gnome?
back.
That's like way cooler than the fucking vase that you got in the Beetle.
Can you go back one picture?
Dude.
No, no, the other way back. Oh, yeah, that works too. No, that works too. Go forward, go forward. Yeah, right there. Look at that, dude. You slide the tablet back on its little slidey thing,
Dude.
and then
Snuggle up
you
with
slide
yourself.
the back seats. Yeah,
Snuggle up with yourself.
Netflix and dude, no, that bus is gonna be
Netflix and
a Gen Z fuck city,
Netflix
dude.
and sleep outside of a closed racetrack before a drift event by yourself. Like that's what it's
No,
gonna
but I'm
fucking
saying
be.
like, dude, Zoomers are gonna be borrowing
Dude,
their
M-Fan,
parents'
fuck off. Who
electric
cares?
microbus and be fucking.
All right, how about this? Ignore all the potential problems it could have and think of how sick it's going to be like week 1. Like lease it, you know? Fuck it, right?
Yo, that's the move.
Yeah, look, they're even teasing the cuz they have the Space Vision and then they have like the Cross.
Oh, dude, look, the front chairs flip around. So you can have like a fucking little smoke out in there too.
Dude, this thing's going to be nasty.
Bro.
Has there ever been a panoramic sunroof that doesn't have issues? Here are a few prominent examples. See, all those examples were BMWs, and this isn't a BMW, so actually, I know that the Volkswagen ones are having issues too. They all do. Every company does. I agree with you.
You know, let's just be optimistic, dude. Fucking
Dude,
lease that
it.
shit.
Fuck it. 2020, lease it. I need a new kid holler. It'd be sick.
2022, bro.
Think of how cool you'd be. You'd be the coolest dad.
Yep.
The coolest dad. You would be. You just would be having that.
M-Fan, you're a hater, dude. That's all I gotta say.
I think you're a hater right now. I think you don't have enough. And now, you don't have to be a dad to have dad prowess, but I feel like you don't have enough dad prowess, or you're denying your dad prowess might be more accurate.
Oh, dude, check Discord. Panel van version.
Yeah, let me get that. I'll get that. I've seen this one before. Wouldn't that be fucking tight? Wouldn't that be fucking tight? How fucking sick would that be?
Bro, dude, that shit's tough.
Dude, imagine this. A stripper panel van. Base stripper panel van model, but the all-wheel drive dual motor one. And then you just like put wide sticky rubber on it, slam it on its balls, wide arches, and fucking just future Dodgebon. But it's a race buzz, I guess is what they're calling it.
I will say, dude, those VW or those wheels gotta go.
I don't like those wheels either.
Them shits is ugly as fuck.
They look a lot like the Tesla Aero wheels, and I don't love them. I think what looks really nice are the Taycan wheels. You see those? Like they have like the inside of it's like painted white, so it kind of looks like white walls.
I did see those.
Like from a distance, it kind of looks like white walls.
That shit is gonna get covered in brake dust immediately when you drive.
Well, it's an EV. They don't brake as much.
Oh yeah, they have the motor.
So another thing for you
OP
talking
as
about if
fuck.
that could tow is that this is on their like modular EV platform chassis thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I don't think.
And they're supposed to have a crossover at the least.
Yeah, but a crossover can't tow either.
some can tow more than you would think, and your S12 doesn't weigh a lot. You could
that's
probably
true.
like be fine with like a Honda Ridgeline would probably be great for you to tow, honestly. It's kind of wimpy, but it would do it, you know? And it really wouldn't be that dangerous. Well, it wouldn't be dangerous at all, I should say. You might be right.
Yeah,
Because my
I mean,
sunroof never had an issue. It just on occasion leaks. Doesn't that mean it always has issues? Your sunroof at 210K E46 never had issues. Except
all right,
just
dude, we gotta
occasionally.
stop reading this guy's comments.
I don't even know
bro.
what that
I'm gonna
means.
get a stroke.
My brain's done. You're I think you're a different species. You've evolved beyond me. I just don't get it anymore. Leaves? It's all right. All right, so we're going to hop to the next one, which is about the Ford Focus RS, the new one. Apparently, it's not going to come out at all this year, and it's going to be 2022 because they're going to focus more on hybrid shit and making it lower emissions and stuff. And you know, this is all like, this is what, an Australian website, it looks like. So I don't know what this means for US at all.
I thought Ford was dropping all of their cars.
I
Did they walk
figure
that
we're
back?
not getting this. So this is the news for a car we won't get. Hybrids are boring to drive compared to pure electrics and pure combustions. See, that's another thing, is like everything I see is like electrics just seem like stupid fun. Like modern good electrics. Like we've figured out electrics now. Like let's just get beyond this. Like we've figured it out now. Like we got it. Every company has the capability to make a good one. It's just timing the market and you know, the infrastructure and all this other shit that they're doing.
Yo, hold up. I'm sorry to interrupt,
Go.
but this dude's saying the LaFerrari, the P1, and the 918 were boring. I don't think I heard anybody ever say that, and I'm positive that you have not driven any of them. So how are you going to pass
He
that
says
judgment?
even they were boring apparently. Dude, that's Bill, by the way. Compared to other hypercars. Oh, no, I can
Bill.
understand what he's saying though. And I think what he's saying,
I guess I just remember everybody being stupid as fuck, but I didn't really follow them after they came out, and I'm sure everybody was just hyped on them when they came out. So
well, let me
no hypercar expert.
think back to when they were coming out, when that was hype.
I don't think they are more fun than your car. You drive a 370Z.
But there was a lot of talk about how easy they were to drive because they were just so advanced and they were just made to be so fucking quick that it was like almost like not difficult to do it because the car did so much. And I think that's something that you get with modern controls in general, especially modern electric controls, because you can control an electric motor way more instantaneously than a combustion engine, right? So you get way better, you know, stability, traction, all these other controls, braking even. And I think it can numb the experience in some way, being so perfect. Like everything's so good in those hypercars. Like if you just mash your foot to the floor, you're going to go really fucking fast. If you did that in a supercar from 20 years ago, you're gonna blow out the rear tires like crazy. You know, it's not gonna launch like that. But these things are like on and off switches. It's like point and go.
I mean, that's the same argument that a lot of people use against R35s.
Yeah.
And I still think most people that use that argument have never even been in an R35 because I've never driven one. So I can't really say that I know, but I've been in a couple and holy fucking shit, those things are insane. Like the level of just like power and grip, like that's pretty exciting to me, man. I don't know.
I think generally on the internet when people talk about car performance, they are talking completely out of their ass with no experience. Like, their experience is they saw some YouTube videos or they watched it on Top Gear. Or, it's just what they hear thrown around, right? And
Yeah.
not to say that people can't be informed and know stuff without having experienced it, but I think in large, there are a lot of people who are just like, and I think I've had this conversation before, at least, where it's like, I've talked about my GTI before and how much I like it, and I think it's a great car. I think it's really fun, blah blah blah. I think it's it's a good, to me, jack of all trade cars for what I want. And I get people and they're just like, oh no, but like it understeers so much. I'm like, when am I understeering when I'm driving my car like to and from work? That's like the car I drive every day.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, yeah, like, oh, if I took it to a track, yeah, it's probably gonna understeer, but it's like, yeah, but there's this ridiculously gigantic aftermarket I can go look at to like fix or help mitigate that issue if I wanted to. I don't want to because it's my daily driver, but like that, people just talk all about these things. Like, I think the biggest one I hear is about all-wheel drive. Like, people talk about like the all-wheel drive in a crossover, and they're like, oh, it's like fake all-wheel drive. It's front-wheel drive based. It's not real. It can't put 100% to the rear. It's not real. Stuff like that.
Yeah, people that hate on anything that's not rear-wheel drive are dupes.
Like they if it's not rear-wheel drive biased or something like that, like they hate it, right? And I'm just like, but most people, like 90, probably more than 95% of people who drive cars, they're not driving on the limit any day of the year, ever. Even if it snows, they're not even like they're probably not driving if it's so snowy that they're sliding the tail end of their Subaru out because it can put more power to the rear or something. Like, I get what you're saying as an enthusiast and somebody who might understand car control and stuff like that.
Further than that.
What was that?
Let me take it a step further than that, because even enthusiasts that are like, oh, if it's not rear-wheel drive, that's stupid as fuck. Like, you can have a lot of fun driving a front-wheel drive car or driving an all-wheel drive car. Like, they are fun to drive cars in both of those categories.
Oh, totally. I think fun in a vehicle is a package, and there's no set package. There's a ton of different ways to make a fun car, and a ton of different brands can too. To everyone who wants to like shit on different brands and stuff like that, even though I do that all the time. I'm one to talk, but yeah, I just feel that so many people who they talk about cars in a way that like it literally, to the people that you're actually talking about this car, the people who are actually going to use it, maybe even a casual enthusiast who might go and find some twisty back roads or something like that. Like, most people, even if they are super enthusiasts, like, they don't want to bust up their new car. They want to crash, driving a back road or something like that they spent a bunch of money on. Like, they don't care that it can send more power to the rear. Like, they want it to, like, be fun and spirited and not crash. And, maybe they bought a crossover because they have a snowy driveway they want to get up in the winter. Like, that's enough all-wheel drive, and that's enough for them. Like, that doesn't mean it's fake or it's shitty or it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. How's the ride quality on the on an Infinity? Oh, M35X. Okay,
no
I
idea.
got it. I was confused at where the conversation went. I forgot what an M35X was. Now I'm good. All right, we're gonna hop to the next conversation, and the next conversation is about Toyota in large. And it is now that if you've not heard about the Toyota GR Yaris that is making storms on the internet, which is basically a homologation for their WRC Yaris. It's going to have a turbo 3-cylinder, like 250 horsepower, all-wheel drive, manual transmission, like sick, like little street legal rally car like thing. And people are going crazy for it. They want it. And obviously, Toyota getting all this hype. They're like announcing like, oh, we're gonna do a GR CHR with the same 3-cylinder turbo, and then there's gonna be GR Corolla. Makes a lot of fucking sense though. All right, and then we could actually get that in the U.S., which is way more
Bro,
realistic.
can we fucking please get a GR GT86?
Nope, because guess who makes the engines?
God fucking damn it, dude. Like, bro, how? Like, I'm looking at all these GR Corollas and GR Yaris's and look dope.
It's
Why can't we
honestly,
get a fucking FRS with some cool wheels and some better suspension and a cool body kit and a fucking turbocharger?
I think that's an interesting conversation though, and I think that's mostly Subaru is a much smaller company, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, and it's so much smaller that they almost they have to be very strategic about their going out there with cars, right? Like Toyota can put out all of these GRs, they all can bomb, they all can lose money, and they're still going to be fine. If Subaru tried to do that and they're just like, oh, we're going to release a new 400 horsepower STI. We're going to introduce a new 400 horsepower Forester STI. We're going to introduce a new 400 horsepower Cross Tour STI. Everything STI. And it's all available in the U.S. and everyone can get it everywhere. They'd probably go bankrupt.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I'm not asking for Subaru to do that, though. I'm just asking for.
But that's what I'm saying is because
Like
unfortunately where that marriage of those two companies went, Subaru's the engine side.
Yeah, but Toyota could pay Subaru to make, 2,500 FA20s with better internals and a supercharger or whatever on it. And like that, yeah, maybe Toyota would lose a little bit of money, but they're probably losing money on all these other GR cars too. So like, it would just be a cool fucking car. And you know how much hype that would have if they made like 10,000 or less of those. All the people that think like FRSs are cool, but they need more horsepower would be buying the fuck out of it.
See, it would be hype, but I think at this point Toyota looks at it like, well, Subaru didn't have their hand in the Yaris or the Corolla or the CHR. Why don't we spend all our time and energy hyping that shit up? That's all of us, instead of spending time and money hyping up shit that gives Subaru money that isn't us. Even though I'm pretty sure they bought more percent share of them. I think they actually might have a controlling stake of them now. That's some news. I might have to look that one up. Regardless, I like the 8.6 BRZ twins. I like them as cars, but you gotta look at the sales numbers, and they're just terrible. Nobody buys them. Like that's the truth. Is they really don't sell, and I don't know if giving it more power, which would inherently make it more expensive, I don't think that's gonna make it sell more, because I think it's just gonna be too expensive at that point. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay, so Subaru did like a super limited edition STI that they only sold in Japan, and they made like less than 1,000 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like bright orange, and they had a fucking GT wing, and they had like 400 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I'm saying they need to do for the FRS. Like, maybe even wait till it's on its way out, and then build like 500 of the ones everyone wished they did.
When's the last time Subaru's done anything like that? I mean, the STI is
a couple years
still
ago, dude.
Like 310 horsepower. Like, it's like nothing. Like, they won't update anything. Like, they're really standing still in a lot of aspects. Like, you look back a decade ago, or maybe a little bit more, and you compare an STI to like a Mustang GT, the STI was faster, and it had like more power. The Mustang made like 270 horsepower, and Subaru made like 310. And it's like, oh, that's crazy. Now the Mustang makes like 460 horsepower, and the STI makes 310. So,
Oh yeah, I'm not like arguing for the relevancy of Subaru either.
well, I'm
I'm
just
just
saying
like,
they're not
theory.
focused on that aspect of their brand, is what I'm saying.
No, nobody really is. That's why I'm kind of surprised that Toyota's building all these
Toyota's
fucking crazy
Toyota's big
cars.
enough that they can do that.
Yeah, but just like for a long time,
Like Toyota's the only
car
company.
companies in general haven't been super into making like good race cars, at least not outside the US.
But
Like
it's like,
Japanese brands have been pretty stale on the performance front for a while.
I think to this point, Toyota still might be the only company that's made a car somewhat like the LFA. Like this just super pinpoint, precise, ridiculous analog, fast. Well, it's not. I don't know. I guess I can't say
I
analog,
mean,
but
I
like,
think the McLaren F1 is kind of like the 90s
well, the
equivalent.
McLaren F1's more brutal. I feel from what I know. Again, I haven't driven either of them,
Yeah,
so I can't tell you for sure. I would think that
but
the McLaren F1's more brutal, whereas the LFA is
it
more
is.
like this is a piece of not just automotive engineering, but like automotive art in how it was made and conceptualized and thought of, and like, oh, we put the digital tack on because it wasn't fast enough without it. Shit like that.
I see you too have seen that Top Gear
Yeah, I don't even think
episode.
that's true. I don't even like, how's that true? There's like fucking jet fighters have like did like analog dials, right?
Yeah. But no, but here's at the time the F1 was like the pinnacle of like this is the best we can make. Maybe that was my impression of it
I don't
anyways.
think I don't think the McLaren F1 was the best of what we could make. I think the McLaren F1,
It was
at
just the
least in the
fastest.
engine
Maybe you're
department,
right.
the engine department was definitely not the best that could have been made. But they made do with what they had basically, and to make a ton of power. And that's kind of uh like Koenigsegg, like their engines, like they're not like at this point they're pretty much their own designs, but aren't they based on like a Ford modular V8? Like if you go deep enough back or
Maybe.
something. Or, I don't remember what it
Um
is. There's
what about
some whatever, but like they're
what
not
about the Veyron?
the.
The Veyron, I mean, it's not the same as the LFA, but I feel like it's
I
in
think
kind
the
of that
Veyron.
same
I think the
vein.
Veyron is because it's all about. And I love the Veyron, so I guess I'm biased here. So you can call me out on my bias if you want, but it's made so precisely to go the speeds that it can as easily and as safely and as comfortably as possible. Like it's not just performance, but like the interiors in them are crazy and they weigh so much for how tiny they are, and they're just rocket ships and everything just works. Yeah, I'm a total Volkswagen boy. So like you can, I'm biased. I understand that part. But I don't know, to that aspect I just think it's almost like romantic in the fact that they're pursuing performance, but they refuse to give up their like artwork side and their comfort and their refined ride quality and stuff like that. Like it's
Yeah,
not just the pinnacle of going fast, it's the pinnacle of automotive engineering. Does that make sense?
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and I guess like I maybe had a distorted image of the F1 in my mind because once you started taking it apart, I thought about
No,
it a
I
little
love
more.
the
I'm like, yeah,
F1.
that shit was a little, but it's raw, dude, for sure. It's a little bit more of a race car.
I think its
Saturn,
rawness makes it cooler. I think like the
oh
story of
yeah,
how it
dude.
was
I mean,
developed, all that stuff's so cool. That's what makes it legendary. But it wasn't the best of the best. I think that's the point of its legendariness. It wasn't, but it still was the best. You know what I mean?
that I mean that can be said about anything because the LFA also is not the best, but it's like the best, you
But
know?
the LFA is like a Swiss watch of a car. It's like
Oh yeah, for sure. And
I don't know. I feel like
I
it's its own
if I were
special
to
type
get
of thing.
if I were to get like a hypercar, that's probably what it would be.
I don't even know what I would get. Full honesty, that's a
Acura NSX, the original one. also in that
Those
conversation.
are cool.
Obviously,
Those are cool.
vastly different
Yeah, I
budgets.
know, right? I was gonna say, I was like, I thought you said hypercar. Can't you still get those for like 60 something or less?
I don't
Can you
know. I
still get them
haven't looked
cheap?
for
They
a
were
long
like in the
time.
like under like the 30s at a point.
Bro, when I was in high school, I would find mad cheap NSXs on
Yeah, they were
Craigslist, and I was like,
cheap for
bro,
a
one day
while.
I'm gonna buy me an NSX, dude. And then like 2 years
Dude's like, oh,
later, they
I'll
were going
buy
for like
one, put a turbo
70
on it.
G's. Oh, dude, I had dreams of NSXs, and then like, yeah, no way, dude. And probably
You
never.
know, the market got crazy. I don't know if it's gonna go back. I think it's calmed down, but
I think it'll stabilize, and like the really good ones are gonna keep going up, and the not as good ones are gonna depreciate a little bit from where they are. Same with like 240s and like 240Zs and stuff, dude. Like they're just too crazy right now. People want too much money for shitty ones that like they're gonna have to start pricing them down a little bit. And it's already
if the
happening a
pinnacle of
little
automotive
bit,
engineering
dude.
is from the
Like
same people who designed the B7 S4 timing chain, okay. I mean, but like, isn't I'm not into watches, but to some of the people who are into mechanical watches, like one of the interesting parts about it is how it's like stupidly complex for no fucking reason. It's like it's just like jerking off, like being like, yeah, we can make this work. Like, does it work the best or forever? Like, who fucking cares? It works for when we're testing it. You know? It's like we want to design shit the way that we want to design it. And it's you know, you almost gotta respect it in that aspect, but I get what you mean. I want a JDM
all right.
95 Zenki Sylvia. Which one's Zenki again?
I fuck with that. That's the round headlights, dude. That's what the real ones
And
rock, dude. The
Kookies,
fucking
the squarer ones or
cookies.
rectangular ones?
Yeah, they're like the angry ones.
Oh, I think I like Zenki better then.
Yeah, because you're a real
Isn't
one, dude. Like
Kookie's like
fucking
the one that
posers
like
like cookies
everyone like
better.
rips their dick off for, right?
That's the hype
That's
beast
the hype
one,
beast
dude.
one.
Yeah,
All right, I think I'm a Zenki
yeah.
bro. I think I'm
Oh,
gonna
I'm a Zenki dude for
I think I'm
sure.
gonna live
Not
it.
only because I'm kind of a hipster, but also I genuinely think they look better. Because I think the Zenki front fits the whole car. Like the kooky front end with like the still kind of round back end looks kind of weird.
All right, I'm gonna look up a picture. Oh, why are you so mad?
Yo, Mercury Merker, that's fucking dope, dude.
Mercury
Those cars are sick. The
Mercurs?
XR4
Dude,
Ti.
I'm pretty sure Mercury Mercurs, like the owner's manual, like told you how to pronounce it because it's so like nobody could
Yeah,
pronounce
it's a
it
Merker
because they couldn't,
XR4
because
Ti.
Americans couldn't pronounce it or something. They're just like, oh, we gotta tell them how to pronounce it. Those are just a bunch of engineers
So
jacking themselves off on how complex they can make shit. Yeah, I'm a fan of that, Saddam. I don't know what you're not understanding here. I like that dumb shit. I'm an engineer. I am very interested in engineering. I understand like what you're saying though about stuff being needlessly complex and having design flaws, but what are you gonna fucking do, right? Yeah, Zenki wins. Kuki looks dumb.
like the Koki doesn't look
It doesn't look
bad.
dumb. I'm not gonna say it doesn't look
I
dumb.
just it
It looks try
when
hard.
you look at the full car, it doesn't match the
What is
rear, whereas the
Amino? Oh,
Zenki
is this
does.
like that fucking social media thing that like no one ever used? Car Amino or something? You never see those cars anymore. No, you rarely see them. I can't remember the last time I saw like a 240 on the road, honestly.
I see him around every now and then, dude.
I got to say,
I saw I saw a right-hand drive Koki S14 that was really clean one time, and that was cool. Like that was sick.
you're not muted. I think it was silence for like 300 seconds, dude. Someone at least needs to put
All
an
right,
S6 Lambo V10 in a Miata. What about like a Ford Triton V10 in a Miata?
nah, dude, Triton V10s are
Oh,
actually
I
terrible.
know. But like, imagine like an LPG V10 Miata just rumbling away. It would
Bro, I
sound
mean,
crazy. Like, just do it for the
You
sound.
would have to sit so far back, dude. Like that engine would be
It wouldn't fit.
all up
It wouldn't
in the
fit.
cab.
I am dying for somebody to put one of those into a C4 Corvette and then paint it like a Viper, and it would just piss off all three fans of all three brands, you know? And
Dude,
I think that would be
yeah,
fucking hilarious.
that would be pretty fucking funny. You could also, dude, GMC made trucks with an 8-liter V10.
They made.
Put one of those in a
Oh yeah,
Corvette.
you're right. They did have an 8-liter V10.
Or maybe it was like 8.1
Well,
or
you could get an
8.3, but it was
8.1.
the first digit was 8, so that's all that really matters.
What company was this? GM?
GMC.
Well, they had an 8100 V8. Did they have a V10 that was huge too? I didn't even know they made a V10.
I thought they did. Maybe it was a V8.
Well, I know.
Maybe
I know. Well,
misremembered.
obviously, Chrysler made a V10, but that was 8.4 liters, I think, right? Were the truck ones the same, or were the truck ones different?
Huge.
They might have been this different. Who knows?
No, the Viper, the original Viper ones were just like the truck motors with better head. Like that's literally how it was possible.
I saw an S6 V10 for $5,000, dude. Fuck that. You can get in it.
Bro,
You can get an entire Ford F-250 manual with Triton V10 for like $1,000. The whole fucking truck. I literally just want to like take. I literally just want to take the engine with the fucking truck transmission and just shove it into a Corvette. Just shove it in there. Just slam that bitch in there and send it. It'd be sick. It would sound insane. Ford had a 6.8 V10. Yeah, that was the Triton. GMC, I don't think they made one. I could be wrong though. I don't think they did. I don't